Welcome to the 9642 podcast. This is your host, Mr. Number 9.
And this is The Fool.
This is where me and The Fool give our
Unqualified and unrequested
ramblings on the various issues in the world of sport.
or something like that.
Yeah, boys, we are back into the southern hemisphere winter. The colors are changing on people's clothes. The temperature's getting a bit cooler.
A bit.
The sun's setting a bit earlier. What is one of your surefire signs for when Auckland hits the autumn season?
Traffic. March Madness. March traffic, because then the students are back at uni. This year less so for, external reasons, but normal surefire cause traffic on the motorway, students at uni.
Yeah, that's a good one. I find that people switch from wearing their caps to their street beanies. They're not wearing a full beanie, but like the street beanie is back.
Yeah.
Like, you're still wearing your jacket. It's because we all, I think knowing when winter becomes spring is pretty easy, because that's just when the seniors stop wearing jandals and socks and start wearing just jandals.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, yeah, this is spring now.
Yeah.
And, the autumn one is a harder one to pick. Also, autumn just seems, sometimes we skip autumn.
We really do. Autumn is a weird mix of just being summer and then, oh no, it's winter now.
Yeah. Suddenly we're like, oh, we've hit our first sub-5 day. Like, it was 20 yesterday. What happened?
Exactly.
Unpredictability of Auckland weather aside, we've had winter codes all starting their seasons from the game played in heaven to the greatest game of all, and the Australian Football League starting as well. So, which was the last one to start, because it'll probably be easier for us to go through the AFL because they've just had less games.
Yeah.
Current season started, and the Aerial Ping Pong League opened up with the Sydney Swans playing Carlton in a match that the Swans handily won, and looks like they're cut back into form this season.
Yeah.
So Sydney Siders are going to pretend to care about AFL for at least a few weeks. At the moment, some teams have played 2 games, some teams have played 3. One of the surprise package so far, the Gold Coast Suns, perennial underachievers, much like any that comes out of the Gold Coast in any sport in Australia. They have currently on 3 wins, holding up the flag for Queensland football teams, because the rest of the football teams of the different codes from the state have not been doing that well this season. Last season's premiers, 0-2 start for them, lost both their games, but you'd expect them to come good as the season progresses. Essendon looking like another wooden spoon season, unfortunately for me, and Richmond, talking to a few of their fans, also not yet gotten a win yet. So those are the 3 basically teams that have not gotten a point yet. And along with the Gold Coast Titans, we have the Western Bulldogs, who are also undefeated.
Yeah.
So followed by Sydney in 3rd place with just the 1 loss, and Hawthorn as well coming down on 4th. In the top 4, they've got 2 Melbourne teams alongside Gold Coast and Sydney. So far, and the rest of the top 8, there's Fremantle, the North Melbourne Kangaroos, Port Adelaide, and the Adelaide Crows. So it looks like the South Australia derby is going to have a bit of niggle this year.
Yeah.
One of those teams could force the teams to not make it to the playoffs. So watch out for the showdown when it happens. North Melbourne, after a few underperforming seasons, could be interesting to see if they pick up. Fremantle, who were surprised last season, like they basically, I believe they were the minor premiers, but like got smashed out of the playoffs pretty early. But I'm sure they've learned a lot. This is a young team, so watch out for them.
Yeah.
The rest, it's still early days. I can't really, other than the bottom two teams, Richmond and Essendon, you can probably expect the rest of the table to change around. It's going to be pretty hectic. We'll look forward to seeing how the teams progress. Who do you like so far in the season?
I mean, I'm always a bit of a fan of St Kilda, personally. And they seem to have not the best of starts, 2 losses, 1 win, but pretty middling. So, maybe they'll pick something up. They lost to Collingwood, lost to Melbourne, beat the Giants, so. Yeah,
the lost to Collingwood, and Collingwood don't look the best this season yet. So, I think St Kilda would be unhappy because that game also looked sort of close. Like St Kilda could have won that game quite easily.
Yeah, it was quite close. So yeah, just a couple of goals in it, really.
Yeah, unlike Essendon, who basically looked smashed in every game they've played.
Yeah.
And Richmond, who looked smashed in every game they've played so far. St Kilda have actually fought. Look, at the moment, like they've kept it closer. Like, and that percentage shows at 92.3 in their percentage, and Collingwood 98.7. So those two teams look like it could just be early season struggles. Like, obviously, eventually Collingwood's going to start winning games. Refs are going to find penalties for them out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, people somehow pretend that there's nothing wrong. That just happens.
Pretty standard. It's fine.
Standard stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to it, but hopefully, as long as Collingwood stays out of the playoffs, I'm okay with how the season goes. Like, this is all I have as a Bomber fan.
Fair.
Now, moving on from aerial ping pong, we go to Rara Ball, the Super Rugby. It's been an incredible season so far. We're pretty far into the season, about a third of the way in. Teams have played between 5 to 6 games, and to nobody's surprise, the top 2 teams happen to be from this side of the Tasman. The mighty Hurricanes and the mighty Blues. Both on 20 points. Obviously, the Hurricanes have a game in hand, so you'd expect them to move further on. The Brumbies have won 4, lost 2, and so far, I do think that the Brumbies had a very handy win against the Crusaders. I caught a bit of that game as I was earlier in the year. As I was at Remuera Club, and they've also handily beaten the Blues already, so they look like a pretty useful outfit, reminding me of the late 90s, early 2000s Brumbies team.
No, they have done very well. So they're only in third based on not having as many bonus points as they've dropped a bonus point compared to the Blues and Hurricanes. So. Yeah,
and they've beaten the Chiefs too, so they've beaten 3 New Zealand teams, which is basically usually the problem for the Australian sides.
Yeah, so they're looking very, very strong, right? They haven't played... They've only played they played the Force and they lost to the Reds. Lost to the Fiji and Drua, but that was in Fiji, so I don't know if we really read much into that. Like, everybody loses in Suva.
The Drew are very strong in Suva, as you say. And from memory, is it the top 8 that qualify? Or is it the top 4?
No, top 8. It's like 3/4 of the table qualify through, but
Yeah.
yeah, and then you 1 versus 8. So generally, it's a bit better than what the NRL used to be like, in that the top teams will just win that quarterfinal and go through the semis. That's not so bad, but yeah, it is top 8 and then just straight quarters, semis, and final.
Yeah. So, despite that loss to the Brumbies, the Blues are having a strong season. They've so far lost to the Brumbies and the Chiefs in the Battle of the Bridge, and then they went on to beat the Force in Perth, which is always a tough place to travel, and they've gone and beaten the Crusaders at home. You love to see it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Moana Pacifica, smashed them at Eden Park.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the thing, like, so far, and they've beaten the Waratahs away. You love to see it. The Blues, obviously, like, the two big rivals they have, despite what New Zealand Rugby will tell you, are the Crusaders and the Waratahs.
Yeah.
In Super Rugby, and so far they've only lost the one at home. Like Eden Park is the tough one to is the tough place to play the Chiefs, because the Chiefs will get a lot of fans. It's basically a home game for them as well.
Yeah.
But other than that, not surprising to see that the Blues are have won their other game at home. Other games at home, beating the Crusaders and beating Moana Pacifica.
Yeah.
My wife's cousin and his wife, my wife's cousin's wife, had come over from Portland to visit New Zealand for a couple of weeks, and they were like, we absolutely have to watch a rugby game, and they went to that Blues and Chiefs game, and they absolutely loved it.
Oh, wow.
Great atmosphere, and really, but they were all like, it's surprising everybody in the city supports the Chiefs, and I'm like, that's not surprising.
Yeah. Seems par for the course.
Unless the Blues are winning, nobody supports the Blues, but they're doing good. Like, I do think we'll see. It's good. Like, the city is like in a good mood. The Chiefs are doing okay. The Blues are doing good. The Warriors are doing great. So, and obviously Auckland FC are doing great.
Yeah.
Like all the football teams in the Super City.
Other than Moana Pacifica, but
other than Moana Pacifica, technically not representing Auckland.
No, but they are based in Auckland.
They are based in Auckland, that's true. But hopefully less and less as the seasons progress. They'll play more and more of their home games in Tonga and Samoa.
Yeah. I think that is part of the plan, though. There's still probably more. They'll get more crowds here than there, but
Eden Park is a bigger stadium, obviously, and
they mostly play out of Mount Smart anyway.
Mount Smart? Yeah.
They do, or they try to. They tend to be the third option there, though. So I think they sometimes have to be up in Albany or Eden Park, but I think their preferred spot is Mount Smart. But for much the same reason as the Warriors, middle of where the Pacifica communities mostly are, so.
Yeah, let's be honest, like, other than All Black games, when they're sold out, watching football at Eden Park is crap.
Yeah.
And the occasional Warriors game that has sold out, then the atmosphere is great. But
Yeah.
like, those are very specific games that you pick to play at Eden Park, and I don't think the Warriors really do that anymore. They they want to turn Mount Smart into a fortress. But watching football at either Albany or Mount Smart is way better. Like, doesn't matter what code of football, like rectangular field football code you're watching.
Yeah.
It'll be more fun in those two stadiums. Like, you're so close up to the action, especially in Albany.
Yeah. No, I agree. Either of those two stadiums is much better as a fan experience. Assuming you're not getting 50,000 people trying to get to the ground. So.
Yeah, and like the Warriors are like, at least it's because Albany is a way smaller stadium. It's only like 20K, isn't it? Give or take.
Give or that, yeah. Yeah, it's not very big at all.
Whereas, like, at least Mount Smart is like a 35K stadium.
Yeah.
And, like, if you wanted to, you could definitely justify expanding Mount Smart into, like, a bigger stadium. Except, like, what are you doing at Mount Smart in the off-season?
Well, yeah, exactly. Given that all the main codes that play there all play the same season, basically.
Well, yeah, A-League sort of goes into summer, but not
I suppose
really.
A-League versus NRL is mostly opposite each other. Like, A-League starting September, October, so...
Yeah. So they would get, like, every other week a game for A-League, and I guess you would have to find, like, stuff like concerts and stuff in between. Like, it's viable. But I think you and I both really love Mount Smart. It's a great venue. We've gone to festivals there. We've gone to watch football there. We've gone to watch concerts there. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great spot. I have very fond memories of Mount Smart Stadium.
Yep. And so, like, looking on to the rest of the season, who are we picking? Is it going to be a second title for the Hurricanes?
They are looking very good early to mid-season, right? So it's hard to go against them. I'm hopeful for a Chiefs revival. It seems fitting that maybe it's a Chiefs Hurricanes final, so the Chiefs can lose to another New Zealand team in the final. Just seems to be what we've been doing in the last 4 years.
Yep.
Yeah, but say Brumbies looking really good. You can't go against the Crusaders ever, so.
Crusaders definitely still fifth. Like, they're gonna finish obviously they're defending champions. They're definitely gonna make the playoffs. So, and heck, maybe Razor will come back. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yep. This is like the crazy thing about rugby. I'm like, how much? Like, I am a very casual rugby fan, as we all know. And it's like, I don't think Razor's done anything wrong. What's happening here? He's barely had a go.
I mean, I feel like that was just the symptom of the same problems that meant they didn't get the job for so many years, despite everybody wanting to have the job. Well, when I say everybody, I mean the New Zealand public. Clearly there are people inside New Zealand rugby that don't think that he's suitable for the role, and they avoided putting him in the role as long as they could until they really couldn't avoid it any longer. And then at the first possible opportunity they've gone, oh, that didn't work, sorry man, had you go, get your cuts, up you go. So.
Right, like, but to a certain degree, most of these players in the All Blacks are Crusaders.
Yeah, I know. I like it.
Why are they not coming in to bat for their coach? I don't understand. It's not like the 90s when you had, like, Laurie Mains, John Hart, where John Hart was obviously the better coach, but because there's so many players from the South Island in the team, that was going to be difficult to politically justify keep giving John, and they did the stupid co-coaching.
Oh yes, that's right.
And then they just went, nah, just give it to Laurie Mains. Like,
Yeah.
I still believe John Hart would have probably led that team to a win in the 95 World Cup. But maybe that was destiny for South Africa. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, like, that was like a crazy situation. And, like, for years, New Zealand rugby just didn't hire, Graham Henry, who was like, this guy is obviously the guy who should be our coach. Like, everyone knows. Why is he coaching Wales? What's happening? But, like, he leveled up by going and playing in both the Northern Hemisphere, like, coaching in the Northern Hemisphere, being successful up there, and, like, it ended up working out for New Zealand rugby in the end, but... And, like, obviously nobody questioned Steve Hansen, just because, so Steve Hansen's just like, yeah, I'm in charge, what are you going to do? And, like, everybody's like, yeah, he says it really matter of fact, like, he must be in charge. Let's just... And, he's like one of those people who'd be really difficult to argue with. And he's like, really? Me? Like, I'm Steve Hansen. But like he did level up Graham Henry's team. I think it's fair to say. Like he made them peak longer than they probably should have.
Yes.
He definitely deserves his flowers as a coach.
Yeah, I'd say.
And his team made to the finals made to the semifinals in 2019, and probably should have won that semifinal against England, except
England clearly came with a plan on that one, right? The only unfortunate thing is that England played their final on that day, and so they made it to the final. They just didn't have anything left. But can't take away from them. They clearly had a game plan. They knew how they're going to win, and they executed it to perfection.
And I don't think Ian Foster did anything too wrong. It's like he took the team to the finals. There's nothing wrong with the strategy or the tactics. Like, it's not his fault we missed 2 penalties. That could have evened out the game. It's not his fault the ref made a bad call, which the ref admitted.
Exactly.
None of this is his fault. I don't understand what. It's I'm not saying that South Africa lucked their way and they played the conditions and won. They played well, and they deserve to win. But it's there's absolutely nothing that Ian Foster's done wrong here, as far as I can tell. I'm a real casual rugby fan, but I don't see it.
No, I think the only real problem with Foster was that he wasn't Razor. So the public wanted Razor. And basically wouldn't give Ian Foster any dues, despite, as you say, him doing reasonably well. But
and it was a rebuilding team. It wasn't even like he had a ready set team like Steve Hansen had in 2015. Exactly. And also he groomed successors in that 2015 team. When to go and win. So he did a really good job, and Ian Foster took the next rebuild after 2019.
Exactly. So I'm with you. I don't think he did anything too wrong. It was just that he had a rebuilding team. Probably say it was more of a rebuilding than 2011 to 2015 or 2011 to 2019. And his only real fault was not being Scott Robinson. That's what the public saw fault in, and eventually they're clamouring. And it's possible that maybe New Zealand Rugby should have done that way around. They should have gone to Scott Robinson first, and then come to Foster. But I don't know. Seems like they don't know what to do with Scott Robinson. They didn't understand him. So
probably go and coach the Northern Hemisphere team to a World Cup victory.
That's probably what they do now. And New Zealand Rugby will never learn their lessons.
I definitely believe there are times when you blame the coach, but also neither Foster or Razor seem to have lost the players, right? The players have seemed to be all right. Obviously New Zealand Rugby does not have the best relationship with their players, as we've known, because the players have shown them up consistently as being better guardians of the game than they are. If you've ever listened back to any of our podcasts, literally every time there's been an argument between the New Zealand Players Union and New Zealand Rugby, we've been now the Players Union are actually the ones making the right calls here and making the good decisions.
Yes, exactly.
So you and I obviously are biased. We don't have the highest opinion of the board and the people they picked, despite the fact that they had to be dragged kicking and screaming into the 21st century to make some real common sense things of how you run an organization.
I don't know what you want from them. Accountability, common sense. That's who knows.
Taking care of the game. But if we win the next World Cup, none of us are going to care. You and I both are going to be New Zealand Rugby's all good.
It's all fine.
It's all fine. But it is a challenging year coming up. I think 2027, especially getting rid of your coach at this point, and it's almost like they're on a hiding to nothing. Who's the current All Blacks coach?
Dave Rennie.
Dave Rennie, look, obviously he's super experienced and he's been in there and done that. And quite frankly, if they wanted a coach like Dave Rennie, they should have just hired Dave Rennie. Once again, I'm like, this makes no sense.
Yeah, I'd say they I think part of the problem is that they didn't really have a plan through post-2019 World Cup. Well, their plan was just, it worked, Henry and Hansen works, so we just go straight into Foster. That's just how it works. And they didn't actually plan for the differences, how that was going to actually play out.
And it's fine to do that as your long-term plan. Like, your assistant is the next coach. The coach is grooming him while training up the team, and the assistant coach knows the players coming up, so they're ready to do the succession plan, because you're gonna have rebuilding seasons. That's just the way it is. Like, especially after you had back-to-back World Cup wins.
Yeah.
Like, that team's gonna age, and then you're gonna need to get new blood in. And both, I think, Foster and Scott Robertson did a good job of getting them doing that. But if you're gonna go I would understand if the All Blacks had lost to Ireland in the quarterfinals of that World Cup, and they're like, okay, we need to start again from scratch. I'm like, okay, fair enough. You've abandoned the plan because it's untenable now. I was like, no, you made the final. What's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Any team can lose a one-off game.
Especially the Springboks, so,
Yeah. You lost to the defending world champions in the Rugby World Cup final. Okay. That happens.
yeah. Oh, who would have guessed?
Yeah, like, it's pretty ridiculous. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out in the end, but I think Dave's a good coach, and he'll probably get us a good performance. But also, like, why only for 2 years? Just go, like, you've got the job. Basically, to, like, show him confidence and be like, look, you've got the job till whatever, like, till the 20. Because Graham Henry, remember, like, was coach of the All Blacks when they crashed out in the quarterfinals in the 2007 World Cup.
Yeah. In fact, half the team that won the 2011 were there when that happened. And, we all went, you guys all suck, and they went, yeah, we sucked. We're sorry. Can we try again? We went, sure.
Yeah, and I feel like they should, if they're gonna do this with Dave now, they should do that. Like, give him his 2 years. Like, this is your free hit, 2027 World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully you do well. You're gonna make the quarters. If you can make the semis, that would be great. Like, that's what we want. But even if you get knocked out of the quarters, then we'll still keep you. You're still gonna groom this team, like, and push them out. And, like, you've got the thing of, like, okay, the 2031 World Cup is when we're gonna try to fully try and get it. But people listen to me even though I'm always right.
No, they should listen to you. A little bit in New Zealand Rugby's defence, at least for Ian Foster, he does have the worst record of any coach of the All Blacks at only 69.6% winning record.
Yes, but if we're gonna compare coaches from back in the day when rugby was amateur and there weren't that many good rugby teams, sure, like, he's not gonna have that good a record, but that doesn't. You're not comparing apples to apples, right?
Well, Wayne Smith is 70.6. He only did a little bit because it was there. Razor is 71.4. He's third worst. If I look out for John Hart, 6 years, he was 81.6. Laurie Mains for 4 years, 82.3. I'm skipping over some of them. Sir Graham, 84.9%. Sir Steve, 87.2%. So,
Okay, with Sir Steve and Sir Graham, we know they both got an incredible team at their peak, both of them. You know, like, and there was basically Steve Hanson's era after 2011. The All Blacks looked unstoppable until 2019.
Yeah,
Like, I
exactly.
think they lost only like, how many games? Less than, you can count them on two hands.
You can. So Steve Hanson's reign, the 8 years from 2011 to 2019, he lost 10. 195,
There you
lost
go.
10. Drew 4.
Like, that team was irrepressibly good, but in that time, like, the teams in the Northern Hemisphere have improved massively, and you've got the teams outside the Big 10, you know, like like outside of the Rugby Championship and Six Nations, because teams like Georgia, Japan, even teams like Romania are becoming really competitive.
No, exactly.
And then obviously the Pacifica teams, Fiji, Samoa, and Tonga are always a threat.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll only improve because they've had Super Rugby, like professional teams, for their players.
Yeah,
to play
exactly. So that's the purpose of the EJ Enduro and the Moana Pacifica, right? Is to allow for more professional rugby for island players, which will hopefully help to build them up.
Yeah, and it's also like how much Argentina have improved since being in the Rugby Championship compared to back in Hansen and Henry's day.
Yeah.
Like, now Argentina are a team that comes to New Zealand and beats us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, that's their level now. Like, we can't go, like, it used to be for a while, like, oh, they're tough to beat in Buenos Aires, but the All Blacks still win against the Los Pumas. Now it's like, nope, Los Pumas legitimately come here and expect to win.
Yeah.
Or at least expect to be competitive.
Yeah, well, exactly. And they should expect to be competitive, so.
Yeah. And it's not a foregone conclusion. Now, if they ever expanded the Rugby Championship to include Japan or one of the Pacifica teams, I would expect that team in like 5-6 years to also get into that position. Like, that's what we want. Like, if you're a rugby fan first before an All Blacks fan, that's what you'd want for your sport, right? Like, every team competitive on their day can beat you.
No, exactly.
So that's, well, again, like, I don't think it's an apples to apples comparison. And, like, you know, if you're focused on peaking during the World Cup, then that makes sense that you're gonna get more losses during the Rugby Championship, especially since South Africa have been so good in those 4 years between 2019 and 2023.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Like, the Springboks have looked unbeatable, but anyways, we'll see how it goes. Competition, like, I do think, as we've mentioned many times, the Springboks have an advantage because their clubs play in Northern Hemisphere, and while their international team plays against the Southern Hemisphere teams, so they get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So that is their big advantage in international rugby, so it's hard to see them not do well. And Australia's improving as well.
Yes. No, Australia is definitely getting better over the last couple of years. They've sort of gone through their wilderness period, I guess, and they're starting to look like they might have found their ways out of the problems they had.
It'll be interesting next year. Super Rugby's, like, it feels like if the Brumbies could be like a foreshadowing for the Wallabies next year, so we'll look out for that.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to the last oval ball code. Dun 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 dun. Up the Waz. Obviously, the greatest game, Rugby League. And the season started back on the first week of March in Vegas. The Knights handily defeating the Cowboys to nobody's surprise, and the Bulldogs edging out the Dragons in an absolute stunner, and the Eels getting smashed by the Storm. And, you know, Storm doing Storm things, basically. We could probably summarize it as that. But then we had the opener, the Warriors playing against the Sydney City Roosters at Mount Smart. Like, I did expect the Warriors to win. I expected a much closer game than the one we got.
Yeah.
It looked close during the first half, but the Roosters made a lot of mistakes, which the Warriors punished them for. The Warriors also made mistakes, which the Roosters seemed to not punish them for. It was very nice, very sporting of them. And, like, immediately after that game, I watched Penrith play against the Broncos, which was also a smashing for the Panthers. And this would be foreshadowing for the season so far. The Sharks, nice win, getting 50 points on the board. The Raiders snatching a victory against the Sea Eagles at Manly. And the Dolphins, a close game, high-scoring match against the Rabbitohs. In the 3 weeks that's followed, we've kind of seen the patterns. There's been a lot of injuries already. The Warriors have had a few, but the depth looks great. Like, this Warriors team feels, dare I say it, like peak Manchester City.
No, fair call, really. In that, they don't seem to be, have an injury. They have somebody came in who's able to step up and play at the level needed straight away.
Last season, unfortunately, the moment Luke Metcalf got injured, our season was effectively over.
Yeah. Because
he was in such good form. Like, you know, we watched we were at the game, I think, where he did get injured.
Yeah, we were.
Against the West Tigers, and Tanner Boyd had an okay game coming in for him, but then we found out that he was out for the season. It was just like, that was like, because he was in such good form, and like Metcalf looks like he's gonna make it back in a couple of weeks. Friday, March the 27th, so he's gonna start at 5'8". So him and Tana are gonna combine.
Oh, nice.
Woo. That's gonna be. I already love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
I mean, that just seems like the obvious decision. This feels like Michael Carrick ball, where you just go put Bruno at number 10. That's his best position. And like, oh wait, Bruno's playing like player of the season form.
Strange. His best. Put in the position he really likes, so he knows how to play. He plays it really well.
Who knew? But like the two halves are obviously going to interchange a lot. James Fisher-Harris has been incredible this season at dummy half as well. In a few weeks, hopefully, we'll also get Chanel back.
Oh yeah.
That will reinforce our forward pack. But Halasima off the bench, he's a bench player for us. Almost every other team, I feel like he's a starter, and you just have to get as many minutes as possible from him. But he's able to sit down, watch the games, and like strike, knowing which to target which players look tired, which players, you know. Players are where the gaps are gonna open up. You just feel like he's gonna score every time he gets on the pitch.
No, I agree.
He seems to just break through tackles at will. Just having a great impact player like that to come off the bench, in the halves we've even got a young little junior named Jet Cleary just waiting for his opportunity. He's been absolutely killing it for the Vulcans.
Oh yeah.
A little Prezi from Ivan. You love to see it.
It's very nice.
But yeah, Tanner Boyd, he's been so good this season so far. Arguably the best player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
At this stage. Maybe you could say Nathan.
Yeah. But you can sort of maybe say that any of the last 5 years. So.
Yeah, but with Nathan though, I don't think he's been raising the Panthers have just come back and become, the rest of the players have just come back into form.
Yeah.
He's always had a good cast around him to play on. Whereas, like, there are points in the season so far where Tanas has literally gone, I'm putting the team on my back.
Yeah.
His partnership with James Fisher-Harris has been instrumental. And I do think, like, and last season, I think we did get a bunch of injuries. Zelezniak had his hand injured, was still playing with those injuries.
Yeah.
And it showed up in our defense, like how many players were carrying injuries and playing, and were having trouble with tackling, and they're avoiding hits, which is natural when you're injured. But this season, it just feels like there's just somebody's going to come in and replace them. Like, the juniors are really bearing fruit for the Warriors at the moment.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get to see the young Jet play a few games. I don't want to see either of our halves get injured. I'm just like, maybe he'll get an opportunity when they give players a rest. Rotation, or further along.
Yeah, he could come in off the bench or something, just to have a bit of experience and get there. We'll have to see.
Webby's got the team humming. The style is obvious. They just don't make mistakes. Just be clinical. Like, the team have gotten more and more clinical with every game. I was just telling you before the game. Like, I watched 2 of their games. Okay. I watched the first game. I listened to the Knights game on the radio.
Oh, nice.
And I missed the Raiders game, but I caught the highlights, obviously. But none of the games so far have been mistake-free, so we're not even seeing the peak Warriors. There's still places where they can improve.
Yeah.
But they're not the silly mistakes. They're just the sort of mistakes that every team has, like the sort of a knock-on at a crucial moment, in the opposition half, or bad defensive shape which the opposition takes advantage of, and then they'll be like, okay, we've learned from this, and corrected their defensive shape for the rest of the game. Haven't conceded more than 2 tries in any of their games, so that's already a really good defensive performance.
That's a great sign for the season as well. So,
and also the team's not kicking 100%. I do think Luke is gonna, if he takes the boot for the place kicking, that's gonna improve. So almost all the games we could have scored more points in all the games. In fact, we could have scored a 50 burger in the first game if Tana Boyd had gotten all his kicks.
All right, yeah.
But Tana place kicking has not been good form, but everything else has been great. But last season, Luke Metcalf was clinical in everything. His place kicking was awesome. His in-game kicking was immaculate, and obviously the vision in the running was second to none.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So hopefully he can bring that back starting on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me just see. Name the squad.
Yeah, no, they named the squad.
Because they already...
So a whole lot of great players back from different reasons. So Pompey's back, Harris Tavita, Nickel Klogskard, Arameo Tevia and Metcalf all into the squad, or into the side.
Yeah. And Gannon's going to make his debuts, which is great, because he's been injured. I'm sure he's been frustrated. It's going to be interesting. It's the Tigers. I know that they have looked good so far this season, but it's at home, and we tend to beat the Tigers at Mount Smart. So
yeah. I think it's got somewhere down here that where is it? We've won the last 9 straight and 10 of the last 11 encounters against the Tigers. That's regardless of being here in Auckland or over there. So yeah.
Either of their 2 homes, because they split their home games.
Yeah. So and overall over 39 matches against them, we're 23-16. So 23 win record. Yeah. So hopefully it should be a good game on Friday.
It definitely, that's the game we're looking forward to. The week after, we've got the Sharks. That's the test. Our old niggling nemesis, the Eagles. They're not in good form, so now's the time to get them, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then the even bigger test, week 6. Storm versus Warriors. We can just write that one off. We're not going to win that one. I'm that one at Melbourne.
It's in Melbourne, maybe? We either get smashed or we smash them there. Normally we get smashed.
I think we've only ever won there once.
Yeah, I think maybe once or twice. I'm pretty sure that the time we did when we won big. That's it's not normally a happy hunting ground for us.
Their last victory in Melbourne was a 16-10 win on Anzac Day in 2014.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a while back.
Yes. They've won 17 straight, so we're due, right? That's gonna happen, right? That's
yeah. So with the Tigers, it's just a foregone conclusion. We'll win because we always beat them. Against the Storm, we're due, so it must be our turn to win.
Yes, absolutely. That's just how logic works.
That's exactly how logic works.
The week after that, it's the Titans at home. You'd hope that's a due win. And as always, the Warriors get to play home game at a home game for Anzac Day, and that's at Wellington. The team always raises their game in Wellington or Christchurch whenever they play home games outside of Auckland, just because the fans show up and they're really passionate. The leagueies around the country get an opportunity to cheer for the Warriors. This is a good few weeks to look forward to. I'm already, we've already started looking at prices for tickets to NRL Grand Finals and hotels and stuff, right? Get them while it's cheap, boys.
Yeah, get them while they're cheap. Before the demand starts peaking. Oh, actually, speaking of that, though, I think it's a little late now, so it might have finished. But I did see the Warriors were giving cheap tickets for the rest of the season if you bought them now.
If you bought a season pass?
Sort of, but they just had tickets available for all the remaining home games. Yeah, with $20 per game, so you could buy tickets now for all the home games, and it was $20 per ticket for the Upper South.
$5 discount, that's nothing to sneer at.
No, so it's
usually $25.
Yeah.
So, the Warriors are great value, okay? $25 is still great.
Yeah, exactly. I think
$20 is incredible.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we talked about it before. For value for money, Warriors tickets are just top notch.
Absolutely top notch. And look, we are not paid by the Warriors. No, we're not receiving any money. We're just purely saying this from our own experience.
Yeah.
Of going to previous games and watching them play.
Yeah. The Warriors, if you're listening, will totally take the money.
Oh, we'll absolutely take the money. Who are we going to promote other than you guys?
Yeah.
The Blues. Come on.
Come on. Have you heard us talking about that? Come on.
We couldn't hurry up fast enough to stop talking about them.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's gonna be a great season. Do keep catching. We're gonna keep talking about the Warriors throughout the season, as long as they keep winning, which obviously means we're gonna talk about them till September.
Clearly, all the way through to the grand final.
Yep. Look, we just need to finish in the top 2. We'll get a home playoff game, home semi, and done. Bob's your uncle, Bonnie's your aunt. Done.
Exactly. It's all planned out. It is known.
It is known. So, on that note, up the Waz. Thank you very much for listening. Just as a side note for all of you, we do have Buy Me a Coffee. All the details will be in the notes.
Yep, exactly.
So if you're supporting us, go have a look. Put an amount you can afford, and we appreciate. If you can't, that's all good, and we appreciate the support either way.
Exactly. Listening is all you need to do. But as NumberNine said, if you want to, in the show notes, we'll have the links. You can donate to the show as much as you like.
Cool. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Catch you next time.
Well, that is the end. Thanks for listening all the way through.
If you liked what you heard, we have even more. 9642 Discord and a Buy Me a Coffee.
Pretty sure it's Buy Me a Beer.
Oh yeah, buy me a beer on buymeacoffee.com.
In both these places, you can talk to us, and we may even listen, especially if you do buy a said beer or coffee. I might still be confused.
Yes, we're easily bribed. All links are in the show notes below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
This is on YouTube.